Okay, brilliant way to start the day, filming. Stuck in a traffic jam. This is Novosibirsk midweek traffic, just after 8. What's the time now? Oh no, close to 9. 20 to 9. And yeah, lovely traffic. Hi guys, welcome back to Backyard Russia channel. I'm here today with Nate and the whole family, and we're just on a drive with Nate's parents. And today we thought that we would take you along with us and talk about 10 of the things that we like about Russia or found a little bit different as opposed to living in Australia. So there's going to be a few real life examples, stories of things that we've experienced. So we hope you enjoy that and stick around to the end. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so since as we're on the road, I thought we would make the first one driving road. So one of the first things we noticed here when driving is that the drivers here are a lot more courteous than in Western Australia where we grew up. If you have left it a little bit late and didn't realise that you had to turn right and you're in the left-hand lane, if you indicate and you're like only, I don't know, 50 metres from the traffic light, you're way more likely to be let in here than in Australia. And in traffic jams, when there's traffic all across the intersections and stuff, people just let each other in, let it all get sorted out. It's really amazing how quick you can get through an absolutely gridlocked intersection just because people here are very courteous, and it just makes driving in heavy traffic a lot more enjoyable. Okay, so point 2 is to do with the fuel stations. As some of you might remember, a long time ago, you used to be able to drive up to a servo, even in Australia, and somebody would come out and they'd fill your car up. Well, it doesn't happen in Australia, well, certainly not in WA very much anymore. I think there's only one place I could remember by the time we left in 2019 that was still doing that. But here it's still quite common to have somebody come out and fill your car up, which in Russia is just super convenient. You know, in winter you don't have to get out there, stand out there freezing, filling your car up. Somebody else will do it for you. And they've got like payment apps that you can use to pay for your fuel while you're in your car, so you don't even actually have to get out of your car at all.
That's not how you
Theoretically, you could just stay in your nice warm car and your car gets filled up for you. So that's another thing that we quite like about Russia. Also, if you really feel up to it, you can just chat to the guy.
Good language practice.
Which, yeah, for us is good language practice. Speaking of the cold weather, some of you might be surprised to know that one of the things we really love about Russia is the snow. It just makes everything so clean and sparkly. And it just creates a completely new feel to the city. Everything that was kind of dirty or a little bit messy just gets completely covered over, and it's like having like clean dirt that you can build stuff out of, make slides and stuff. The children absolutely love it. And so we actually have a video where we made a big snow slide out in our backyard, so you can check that out. At the end of the video there'll be a link down in the description, and you can go and check that out if you want.
It's not just fun for children, it's fun for adults too.
Oh yeah.
Making our first snowman was pretty fun. Or snow peoples,
Yep.
snowballs, castles, also anything you can pretty much do in sand or mud, you can do with snow. Except to come out clean. Maybe a tad soggy, but clean.
Number 4 is people's courtesy in general, but particularly in connection with public transport. And it's something that we've noticed while using public transport is that people are very courteous. They like to, they'll get up for the elderly, or if people with small children need a seat on the bus or the train, metro. They're quite quick to stand up and give you a seat, particularly if you have small children or you're pregnant.
Yes, yes.
And if it's a man, he'll even get up and give you a seat to the ladies, so which is very nice to see. It's nice to see that kind of respect. But also, like if you've got a pram or something, people are quite happy to give you a hand. The other day we had to take public transport. Our car was getting fixed. We had to take public transport across the river, and we're actually taking a video for public transport in Novo. We're going to show you guys what public transport is like in Novo, but that will be coming out a little bit later, and when it does, you'll see that there's no lifts or anything like that in the metro, and it makes it quite hard for people with prams.
There are some pram sort of rail things you
It's
can
like
drag
pram
in.
ramps,
Ramps,
but in
but
this particular section
they weren't even.
there was none, and we'll show you a clip, and in this clip there's a lady helping us carry the pram down the, she could see us struggling, and she offered to help, and she wasn't even going in the same direction, she was going the opposite direction, and she helped us carry it down because Nate's hands were full with baby, and then
Yeah, 3 children under the age of 3
yeah, so
on public transport.
and she just helped us carry it down, and then went her way back up the stairs and continued on her way. But yeah, it's just amazing how many people are like, will help you on the bus. That wasn't the only person. Usually it's men, but in this particular instance it was a lady, and yeah, we're always very thankful for that. I mean, we could do it ourselves, but it's just nice to see that people, if you're struggling a bit, they'll just lend you a hand. They're not bashful about coming forwards.
Yes, very nice.
Or backwards about coming forwards, I think. So,
You like going on buses and trains? They're exciting.
people have also asked, they ask us all the time. We get asked all the time in the comments, people asking us, do you feel safe, like living in Russia as a foreigner? Isn't it dangerous? And if you've been following our channel for very long, you would know that we get around the neighbourhood without any problem. We feel quite safe, and all of our interactions with the citizens of this great country have been nothing but pleasant. So, yeah, we feel perfectly safe here.
Perfectly at home, perfectly
And
safe.
we're very free to move around, so. Okay, so number 5 is also connected with public transport a little bit. Not in that it's exclusive for people taking public transport, but it just is something that makes that a lot easier. And that is cloakrooms and lockers in shopping malls. So, as you may have seen if you've watched our first shopping video, which now has 500,000 views on it actually. Thank you to all of you. there is a section of the shop that has a place where you can hang up your coat or you can put your bags and stuff in, and it just makes it a lot easier to get around the shop without having to lug around shopping that you may have already taken with you, your handbag or your big heavy winter coats, and it just makes it a lot more comfortable experience. And yeah, it's just a really great idea. We've used it once because for us, with all our children and everything, we usually have a big trolley and a pram, and so, and also we do a once a week shop, so it's not really worthwhile for us. But for people that are taking the bus or something like that, by themselves or with older children, it's just a fantastic idea, and something that we really like about
the shops here.
The shops here in Russia.
Look at the corn.
Oh, they got corn maybe from maize or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Number 6, shashlik. It's one of those things which our Australian followers probably better understand as giant kebabs. You know, like the small kebabs that we have, but bigger. And it's one of the things that's quite common here that we really love to make at every opportunity that's possible. And the combination of wood smoke and meat cooking will have everybody in the neighbourhood wishing they were either at your place or making their own. And you know, it's quite common here to have people just either on the weekend in their own yard or for a picnic somewhere in the bush or on a river somewhere. They'll just take their little barbecue, get a bit of wood, start a fire and cook some shashlik. And you know, nothing really quite beats the taste or the smell, the feeling of enjoying a nice bit of hot shashlik, freshly cooked, and sharing it with your family and friends. Number 7 on the list of things that we like here in Russia is also related to food, and it is plov. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually a Russian dish, but it's so popular here that it might as well be. Plov can be eaten, you know, breakfast, lunch or dinner. It's basically, well, it's not exactly fried rice, but it's kind of like that.
That's funny.
It's quite an oily dish. It's cooked with a lot of garlic. They put whole cloves of garlic in there, and chunks of meat, and yeah, it's really, really nice. We really like it. Not all plov is created equal though. Our friends actually make the best plov I've ever tasted, and yeah, I'd say it's a family favourite. Maybe not the favourite, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah. I haven't quite gotten around to learning our friend's secret yet, but it's definitely on the list of things to do to get the recipe and start making it for ourselves.
Okay, point number 8 is fresh produce. It's not that it doesn't get sold in Australia, but here, especially where we live, there is a lot of people selling stuff straight from their garden, right out the front of their house, and we really think that's fantastic. You know, you will see, especially in summer and early autumn, so like right now, people just sitting out in front of their house selling stuff that they grew in their own garden, you know, veggies, fruit, flowers. Sometimes you can see people on the side of the road with like a barrel on a trailer selling 𝗍𝗿𝗃. And by the way, I recommend that you buy 𝗍𝗃 from there if you ever come to Russia. If you see a trailer like that, with, I think, what are they, old 𝗍𝗃𝗃's trailers or something?
I'm not sure, but they usually have 𝗍𝗃𝗃 written.
Yeah, they have 𝗍𝗃 written on the side. The ones I've seen lately are bright yellow. But that is some of the best 𝗍𝗃 you can get, in my opinion. I definitely recommend that. There's not so many of them around as there used to be, but that is another thing that's, you know, quite fairly common here, and it's just great. We really like it. Also, there's the milk truck that comes around and delivers. Well, he doesn't deliver the milk, but he comes to a certain spot near us and sells his milk straight out of a little tank that he's got in his on his truck. It's only about, I think it holds 500 litres. And yeah, so that's where we get our milk from. And I think it's really nice. It creates a sense of community. Everybody comes together to one place to buy buy milk from his truck. They know the guy, he knows them. I really like it. It's a really nice thing.
Yep. And you know that the veggies you're buying are straight from your neighbours, straight from people's backyards.
Yeah.
You get to support them.
It's people that
you know
you
it's
can
fresh.
know.
Yep.
And you know, sometimes, quite often when we're walking to get the milk, you'll walk past a few of these people selling their veggies and stuff. And one time we even bought some berries from one of these people. And
Some strawberries.
It's just nice, you know.
It is. It's very nice.
It's quite a nice idea. Okay, number 9 on this list is bunyas. And for those of you who don't know what a bunya is, it's basically a sauna but on steroids. My first ever bunya was in 𝗿𝗲𝗰𝗀𝗀𝗰, or one of my first ever bunyas was on our first trip to Russia in 2013. We went out to 𝗿𝗲𝗰𝗀𝗀𝗀 and we got beaten with birch branches, drank herbal tea picked straight off the side of the mountain, and jumped into the river to cool off. It was probably the best bunya I've ever had. We've also had another bunya where they use stinging nettle instead of birch to whack you with. And while I was in the bunya, it was probably the worst I've ever felt in a bunya. But the feeling afterwards makes me want to try again. You just can't beat that tired, totally content feel that you get after a bunya. And it's something that we certainly hope to build on our own place one day.
Definitely.
So yeah, definitely recommend you having a bunya if you ever come to Russia. It's definitely one of the things that we really love about being here. Okay, so the last thing on our list of things that we really like about Russia is fireworks. And it's something that for an Australian family was quite amazing that you could just buy fireworks and set them off. I mean, in Australia, it's illegal to have fireworks. You can't buy them, you can't sell them. Well, at least most of Australia anyway. So when we first moved here, we were constantly going to the window or outside to see where the fireworks were, because they were just going off everywhere. And while we've gotten used to them now, we still like to set them off for special occasions and stuff like that. So when one of our videos reaches 1 million views, we're going to have to buy a heap of fireworks and set them off.
Yay!
And maybe even cook some shashlik.
Yay!
Anyway, that wraps up the video of what this Australian family likes about Russia. And we hope that you enjoyed it. If you aren't in Russia or haven't been to Russia, when you do come here, definitely make sure that you check out some of these things. Plov, shashlik. We didn't mention borscht, but that's another good thing. And definitely have a bunya.
Yes.
We recommend all those things, and it's just part of experiencing Russia. Yeah, so that's it for this video. We hope that you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. And don't forget to let us know what you thought down in the comments. Apart from that, have a great day. We look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.
Plov's delicious and nutritious. Definitely eat it. And we're going to make it. 0.7 calories.